at my life, and I think about all these little things that led to who I am today. Wild story, my yellow Subaru, while parked in front of my house, was actually hit and run by someone that if I could meet them today, I owe like a lot of hugs. So this car, she has a name, her name is Ella. She has a turbo, she's manual. To see her with this little boo-boo broke my heart. When we found out that the repairs were gonna be like around $1,500 to $2,000, that to us was like a month's worth of working. I decided to just randomly invite friends over. We made a big batch of our banana pudding. It was at that moment that one of our friends suggested, hey, why don't you sell this to raise money to fix your car? And
All right. This is Melodic Investor. Sorry, I couldn't talk for a second. And I saw this pop up and I wanted to give some commentary on it. So let's see what this is about. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment and share. Let's get into it.
I think the response was pretty surprising, yeah. I'm Loder Twaste, and we are at Bounty Banana Pudding in Jersey City, and I'm the co-founder and chief executive there. In 2024, we had an annual revenue of just over $450,000.
Wow.
I think there is.
In 2024, that's not bad. 1 year? Hmm.
The riskiest decision we've ever had to make as business owners is taking a $150,000 loan to build out this place.
Don't you just think it's too small in general?
For the kitchen?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
The fact that folks even trusted us with that much money was for sure a risk, right? As broke college kids in their early 20s, we spent many trips and many fares going into New York City, which is like a 15-minute drive away. And of course, we would stop by, at the time, our favorite banana pudding spot, Magnolia Bakery. And after a while of being like, hey, this is really expensive. All I do is teach tennis and hip hop dance in between my classes. Why don't we try to make it at home? Everything is hand layered, everything is hand cut. We don't take any shortcuts to ensure that we have the perfect bite in every scoop. So we got the mousse, the wafers, the fresh fruits, and it takes a lot of love and TLC to ensure that everything is like chef's kiss.
During our training, Lloyd and I were actually.
This is why I'm always telling people, usually, well, let's back up. There's only 3 ways to make money, right? We're talking in America, 3 ways to make money: business, stock market, real estate. I primarily talk about real estate a lot on my channel, but I still like business in general. And real estate touches a lot of different aspects of business, right? There's the accounting side. You got to learn how to read financial statements, profit and loss, and understanding all of that stuff is a part of real estate. And that's why I like it, because it covers it's a very broad territory. Whereas if you're only doing, stocks, it doesn't cover as much territory. It covers a lot, but it's not as broad, in my opinion. Um, but having said that, there's only 3 ways. Pick your path, stick to it. It's gonna take a decade to get most things running and off the ground. So just know that. That's what I tell people. If you could start in your 20s, you should do that. Because by the time you get to 30, now you have options and now you can, do what you want to do. And usually, in my opinion, a good business comes out of something you already do or something you're already an expert you didn't even know. Like this guy, he just I'm sure they're gonna unpack the story here. I haven't reviewed this video, so we're reviewing it in real time, but he probably grew up making this stuff. I don't know. We'll find out. But my point is, it's usually something close to you, something that means something. And that I think that's helpful because it helps people endure to you, But let's continue on. Let's see what he has to say.
having a
curious in a lot.
conversation about how like working with him is kind of like working with your grandma making Christmas cookies. It has that nice vibe to it.
Once we realized we had an opportunity to offer something different to our community, we thought why not go beyond just banana pudding, and so we specialized in a bunch of fun drinks as well. I think it was really important for us to celebrate our Filipino roots in the city we call home, Jersey City, which has been recognized as the most diverse city in the nation. What we're making here is our ube mousse, which consists of using our ube jam. It's a family recipe from my wife's side. This is a staple roots in the Philippines, and it's beautiful to see it having a moment a little bit in cuisine. In May 2025, we had a revenue of $62,096.
Wow.
Our cost of goods was around 30% at $18,576. Now, when it comes down to our operating expenses, we're looking at $30,800.
Usually what gets lumped into your cost of goods is, it's in the name, right? Cost of goods, your bananas, cream, crackers or cookies, whatever they're buying. And then you have your operating expenses, payroll, rent, utilities. I'm sure they have to pay triple nets in the commercial building they're leasing. So all those things get lumped into those if you did not know.
135, which includes a payroll and labor of 17,477. After taxes, depreciation, amortization, we're looking at a net profit of 9,796, which is 15% of our gross revenue. I'm proud to say that we land between 15 to 18%. On our more busier months, we can get up to the 18%, and a lot of that relies on how much catering we can do, which of course has the biggest profit margins for us.
So here's the thing when you do a business, and this is why I like business. Basically, and I'm not a tax attorney, this is not tax advice at all, just a random guy on YouTube. But when you work a job, you are taxed at the highest rate. I think it's something like 22%, 21, something like that. I don't know. Don't fact check me on that. Just look it up. But you are usually the last one to eat, meaning like there's so many, by the time your money hits your account, so many people have dipped in it, right? And by the time it gets to you, it's someone else's leftovers, someone else's leftovers, right? You got insurance, taxes, federal, state, local, um, whatever it is you have coming out of there, Medicare, Medicaid, FICA, all these things, your employer, everybody gets you. And what's left is, what you have left. And then when you go spend that money is now being spent on goods, right? That you have to pay an additional tax on. So you're getting taxed to oblivion when you don't own anything. When you own a business, you're allowed to pay all of your operating expenses first. And then what's left over is the amount you get taxed on. So not your revenue, you're not taxed on revenue. You tax on what's left over after all of those itemized things come out. You pay everything, revenue, top line usually refers to revenue, bottom line usually refers to your NOI, what you net operating income, what you walk away with. That is the amount that the government tax you. That's the beauty of owning a business, is you're able to do all your operating expenses before people get into it. So hopefully I'm probably not explaining that the best, but hopefully I am. But at any rate, that's the beauty of you. It's like this paradigm shift, right? You shift your thinking. And as long as you're running a business and it is a bona fide business expense, like these people have to pay gas, they have to pay a trip charge, they gotta, this sign costs money, lighting, their uniforms, their hats, their logos, cups, you name it. All of that stuff they're paying out of their top line. not what they're actually taking home. So let's continue on.
Working with us, we have an incredible team. We not only have 12 team members here at our scoop shop in Jersey City and over at Smorgasburg in Brooklyn, but we also have a few team members that are located in the Philippines and also in Nigeria that help with admin things and pretty much anything you can do online. I think the least glamorous part of owning a business like ours are on the days that you are either supposed to do a catering gig outside or set up an outdoor market. How many cream and cookies is that? Yeah. Perfect. 2 of these, please. Yeah. And then it's raining, and it's raining for 8 hours, and there's nothing but you and your crew, and you know you gotta be the one to be like positive and be like, guys, it's just raining. The earth needs a watering. It's all good. So one of the moments that I realized that this was going to be...
That's the one thing in business, man. And this is any business, whether it be whatever, you name it. There are down days for sure. There's up days. There's times where it's you're happy, like, yeah, we're killing it. There's times where you're crying. You just are crying. And there's just, I don't even know how to explain it. There's nothing like it. It'll test your patience. It'll test everything about you. You're sweating bullets trying to, make it before the end of the month. And it's just a grind. And that's why most people don't do it. And that's okay. Not everyone is built for that type of life. You staying up late, trying to get stuff done. And no one sees that. Only people see like when you make it on make it, so it's a grind. So hats off to these people. Let's see what else.
A real possibility. We can actually have a scoop shop. I can actually turn this into a career. Was when I won a $15,000 grant for a business plan competition hosted by Jersey City.
Guess who won $15,000?
Yeah! Congrats! I'm so happy.
That moment of picking up Trisha from her court internship, I think that's when the real work started to begin to actually turn this place into a reality. I could not have created this company without her. I could not be where I am without her. Currently, she is our chief creative there, but she is also a labor, law, and employment attorney. She is the breadwinner for our house, which I'm proud to say. I have no pride about not being the breadwinner for us, and all the pride to be able to call her my wife. Thanks to Trisha, I have health insurance, I have medical, I have dental. A lot of folks wonder.
That's something that I don't think it's talked about enough. When you choose the entrepreneur route and you go all in like this, and this is the benefit of having a wife or a husband. There are some, if one is working and one is the entrepreneur, you get to, play offense and defense, because if you were to just go out on your own and start a business and quit your job, well, you lose your health care, you lose all those benefits and all things like that. So definitely wouldn't encourage anyone to just jump out and start a business. You definitely have to be methodical about it. And you really got to weigh your options, because when you start investing in anything, it's almost like removing the safety net. And, it gets a little shaky at times. And sometimes you just got to tailor. That's why keeping your lifestyle tamed and all living on a budget is so important in those early years, because you're just going to need all that to get you over the hump. And shout out to them. Maybe one of these days, if I'm ever in Jersey, I'll definitely like to go try them. And it's definitely encouraging to see. So let's continue on. This is a little bit of a long video. I don't know if we'll finish the whole thing, but let's see what else.
Why the bear? So when my wife and I started dating 14 years ago, not only did we call each other Bao Bao, which means precious treasure in Mandarin, but we would call each other Bao Bao Bear. At the very beginning, we knew that we had to reinvest back into the business if we really wanted it to grow. As we began to create more sectors of the company and we started diversifying our income, we knew we needed to ensure that our profit margins was what we were focused on. However, there have been times where, because the top line revenue, the gross revenue was looking so fantastic, we kind of lost focus of that profit margin, where we started chasing top line revenue and gross revenue. And a perfect example of that is in 2023. We had 3 stores. When we went from 3 stores to 2 and then to 1, it was a complete existential crisis. You go from being
Don't grow too fast. Grow slow and be cautious. I'd rather go slow and low and not trying to spike too quickly, grow too fast. If you're not ready for that, it could swallow you up. So just be careful with that. But anyway, hope you got a lot out of this or something you can walk away with that can be educational for you and maybe inspire you too. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And see you guys on the next one.